Welcome to Skyrim 2020. This is a short playthrough of my game with mods. Here we go with my character, created in the race menu. Particularly happens to be a woman this time, but can be either, doesn't really matter. Yeah, looking good, looking good. The EMB used is the Natural View Tamiel, EMB for Obsidian Weathers. As I loot this corpse, you'll notice he will turn blue, or purple, depending on your colour scheme. He's poisoned, and that's from a clever mod called a Frozen Electrocuted Combustion. Excellent mod, worth putting in. You can see I got a lot more alchemy ingredients. That's thanks to complete alchemy and cooking overhaul. Gives a bit more variety to the loot and a few more things to cook.
Ain't every day we get visitors.
I have a couple of NPC overhauls listed on the screen now. Some of them are better than others. I've yet to come across a NPC overhaul that overhauls every single NPC to my satisfaction, but it's going to be hard to find one that will. The weapons in the game, there's a substantial amount of them. Most of them, if not all, are from a mod called Immersive Weapon Integration. It's a collection of many mods combined into one. Excellent mod, a lot of variety, makes looting worth looting. Definitely recommended. All mods in my playthrough, as well as everything else that goes unmentioned, can be found below. I will list all the mods down there. Every mod is available on NEXUS, so you need an account if you want to venture onto NEXUS and download them. And I will strongly advise to use Mod Organizer 2.
The Riverwood Trader is everything you need in a general store. My sister Camilla or I will be happy to help you. Oh, a bit of this and a bit of that.
The lighting in the game, I've gone through a few of them. The one at the moment is Luminosity, Lighting Overhaul, the Cathedral Concept. It's alright. Black's black, quite dark in caves. It's not oversaturated. I'm experimenting with lighting mods. Tried them all though. It's whatever floats your boat at the time. This one, again, not too bad.
You're new around here, so I'll go easy on you. But don't get on my
Yeah, I've
bad
left
side.
the kids, the potato heads. I've never gelled with the kid overhauls, to be honest. They look too dull-like, or just too damn freaky. So, left them as they are. They've got a kind of a quirky feeling of nostalgia, I think, left as they are. You always know it's Skyrim when you see them. You notice top left corner of the screen is the frames per second counter. I leave it at capped at 60. You can get mods that exceed the 60 limitations regarding Havoc performance game is more than playable, comfortable to play at. 60 frames. Going beyond doesn't feel right. I suppose it'll depend on your monitor and refresh rates, etc. But for my setup, it's fine. Blood, or the level of detail you might be more familiar with. They used external program called SSE LOTR recreates and defines the landscape textures from the mods you use. It's quite clever. There's a couple of them out there. I found this one particularly the easiest to use myself. Speaking of external programs, Skyrim uses a few. Got a program called Loot that organises the order which your mods are loaded up. Wayabash, which merges all the mods that do the weapons and armor into the loot lists, distributes everything from the mods into an order you hopefully will therefore then see everything eventually. Depends how long you play the game, of course, and how many mods you've got in the game. I mean, I've got over 200, 300 weapons. Whether I've seen them all still, who knows. I use a program called Finis, which is a animation creator for regards your character and NPCs. Yeah, so there's quite a few applications out there that work externally from the actual game. You've just seen destruction models at work there with barrels. There's also chairs, tables that break. That's thanks to another mod called Destructible Skyrim. I'm hoping he will come back and expand it a little bit. He's kind of disappeared, the author has kind of disappeared a bit. Would like him to extend the destruction model to other objects. I find it incredibly immersive to be able to destroy scenery. You can do it with fire, also arrows, so that's always fun. I would say 99% of most textures in the game have been replaced now. More or less 2K. There's a lot of 4K. If you want the excruciating detail, you go for 4K. Again, depending on your graphics card capabilities, how much VRAM it's got, depend on how much, in terms of texture quality, you can get away with without it becoming a stutter fest. But as you can see, it's looking good. To keep things looking nice and blended in with the roads and the textures as you go into the undergrowth, I'm using a mod called Blended Roads. I've experimented with texture, oval halls, and ground covered textures, and it's took a while to get everything looking pretty much seamless.
Huh? Take a look.
Another irritation amongst us modders is the textures with regards to NPCs. The famous neck seam or the neck gap, which can occur with differences in skeleton textures, clothing. It's a reoccurring nightmare when you ever change anything regarding NPCs. Been there, done it. Excruciating to narrow down and correct sometimes. But again, I think I've got that one pretty much at a good place at the moment.
Come to chat with an old woman?
Got Nazim's groovy hairstyle there.
Oh, it took
Not
years,
sure that
but I
looks
earned my way
right.
to the top. I own Shilfer O'Tharn, you see.
What was that other character had a hair like that? Johnny Bravo, wasn't it?
Well met,
Something like that.
kinsman. I'll find a more charitable soul.
That's what I thought.
Shiny trinkets for your
Hello, friend.
lady, or
I can teach you a few things.
Not everybody's favourite, but this is Ordinator. Perks of Skyrim. Gives you a lot of options, and I like options. I like diversity.
See you.
It enables me to play the
I
game
can
like
teach you a few things.
200 times, but go in a different direction with the perks. Again, not for
day to you.
everybody, but I kind of like it myself.
Because I'm a gray main doesn't mean I can't earn my own keep.
all
I didn't mean-
crafted by the best
I'm sorry.
Skyrim.
Hey, good to see you again. Good talking to you.
Come on in. We got warm food, warm drinks, and warm beds.
Somebody help!
And here we are, for the first time, not sure why, she decided to attack me. Now, no one sits in her little corner. Don't really interact with her much, but as you can see, this particular moment in time, she really wanted my blood. I don't know why. And consequence from these actions of actually killing this NPC. Everybody in Riverwood, after that, decided they didn't like me.
This is a local favorite.
I'm still not sure why.
Ragnar the Ripper. We drink to our youth days come and gone, for the age of aggression is just about done.
I decided to put it back in a little
We'll
corner,
drive out the storm
like
clouds and
nothing
restore
had
what we
happened.
own. With our blood and our steel,
Yep.
we will take
There
back
you go,
our
right
home.
back there. And I'll mind my own business.
Down with Ulfric, the killer of kings. On the day of your death, we will drink and we'll
I
sing.
think I will mug you first, though.
Children of Skyrim,
Yes, I
and
shall
we
take
fight
that,
all
take
our
that.
lives. And the Southern Guard beckons, every one of
Meat
us
pie,
dies.
definitely will take that, I think. Yes.
But this land is ours, and we'll see it wiped clean of the storm that has sullied our hopes and downs.
Yeah, you'll also notice,
This
don't know
is
if it's
a
the time
local
of
favorite.
day,
One of the first
that
songs
the
Ragnar the Red.
inn is quite
Oh, there
sparse.
once was a hero named
Yeah.
Ragnar the Red who came riding to wipe
I have seen other inns in other people's games, and there's certainly got a bit more action going on in there. So I'll probably look at that at a later date and get a few more NPCs in there, I think. Got some serious cooked booches there. Crispy.
I hope you haven't arrived here looking for work in the mine. Red Belly Mine gets its name from the red mist filling the place. You get used to it after a while. Kind of smells like the hot springs out in the tundra. No idea what's causing it, though. The finest weapons and armor.
Like a few of my mods, this is an SKSE plugin, so it doesn't require an ESP. Clever little mod. As you can see, it provides an over-the-shoulder conversation point. Very, very similar to if you played The Witcher, same perspective. Very configurable. You can configure it to flick between the NPCs. You can configure it to pan out more from different angles. So it's
Don't kid yourself.
very good.
Stone
Very good one.
runs in our blood.
you may have noticed by now, like just there's little numbers that come up. They're referencing damage indicators, and you're probably thinking, "Ooh, that's very arcadey." It is, but very useful when you mod test. I like to know what's inflicting what damage. It's also useful for highlighting where there's a conflict behind something. I see the numbers come up and I know there's something going on there. It helps me understand certain weapons and how they are affecting my character as well as others through the damage indicators. That's another plugin. Again, I find it very useful. And yes, you've obviously caught on. I've got the customary Lord of the Rings music in the background, depending on the situation. If I'm engaged or I am adventuring, certain pieces from the film will come up. I think the mod's been taken down due to copyright reasons. So, being a fan of Lord of the Rings, I grabbed it while I could. I knew it wouldn't last long. It'll probably disappear at some point along the journey. I'll get tired of it like I do with most mods. But for now, you're going to have to stick with it. The blue diamonds, the shards, if you collect so many you get perk points and they're all scattered around the place. Give you something to look for, something to collect. I think it's taken from Elder Scrolls Online, the idea. So I like it. Well, you can't have Skyrim without a customary dragon fight. Mods for dragons, I've tried them all. At the moment, and have been for a long time, I'm using a mod called Diverse Dragons Collection SE. Plays a lot of dragons into the game. They are diverse, and they look good. This one is, I think it's called a Dark Dragon. They are more or less, depending on your level, randomly placed at certain places of the game, and they will appear depending on again your level, where you are in the game. They look good. I like them. Textures are great. This particular battle, this was a tricky one, as you'll see. It's a tricky one, this. draw your attention to another mod called Skyrim Souls RE. It is another plugin which unpauses the game where normally it would pause as you go through your inventory items. This radically changes the gameplay. You cannot no longer pause the game at any time by simply going into your inventory, putting down 10 healing potions, then continuing on with your battle like nothing's happened. You are extremely in danger whenever you are going through your inventory. The game does not stop. This is good. This is completely changing the whole way combat performs in Skyrim, and I really like this one. This one was one of the mods that changed a lot for me regarding this game. There you go, see, prime example. You stop, try and heal, boom, the dragon gets you. Here we go again. Don't worry, this is towards the end of the fight. I think this time I actually kill it, just about. Almost got me then. Oh my god, that was close. Hiding around the rock. Protect me, rock, please, protect me. Just about heal there, and no, it's got me again. Oh, you know, I was so close. I think the dragon actually dies to my companion soon after this death scene. Here we go on the next try again, right at the end. This time I believe I do succeed in getting this son of a gun. Just wait and see on this one. Boom! He's down. At last, oh my god, what a battle. Epic though. That was epic. I say it's the Dragon mod hasn't changed any of the stats. It's still, as far as I know, vanilla stats, but damn, yeah, that was quite an epic monster battle for a Skyrim engagement. Yeah, not bad at all, as you can see. Everything works smoothly. Compiling this video, the game didn't crash once. Stability is quite high up there. I say I hardly crash at all now in this version. Yeah, there's good modders out there and Skyrim players that still hold on to the original. Fair play to them. They obviously have their own particular mods which Skyrim Legendary only has, and Skyrim Special Edition doesn't. To be honest though, Skyrim Special Edition's mod library is pretty much if it's not equal, it's close to getting there in terms of the number of mods available for Special Edition. Everything I used in the old days pretty much has come over now, and even the HDT physics for the body mesh, hair and clothes, etc. You may have noticed during the game things sway in the wind and stuff. That's come over now. It's took a while, but I'd say 95% of the mods I used to use, I am now using in Special Edition. So with its memory control in terms of 64-bit, it's definitely way more stable. I'm happy with it. I feel it's got a bit more flexibility with the mods I'm putting in. It felt so fragile before using the legendary Skyrim. Yeah, it depends on the mods you use, and I suppose depends on your system as well, because it's an old engine. This it's creaking. It's an oldie, but it's still good. It does what it sets out to do for a game like Skyrim. I'm not holding my breath for another Skyrim to come to us anytime soon. I can't see anything equivalent to Skyrim being open for modding as this is. Probably you will never have a game like Skyrim that's as easily moddable ever again.
Are you here to join us in our sacred quest? To vanquish the great evil, waiting in darkness for its prey? Not a single soul has lived to tell the tale of their encounters, so we're not sure what it really is. Whatever we will be facing, it's a great danger to all of Skyrim, which is why we must kill it, in its lair, on this day. We truly appreciate your help. Let us go then. Today, the evil is no more.
Done this particular place a few times, but never with these guys. I think these guys are from a mod called Immersive Encounters. I've not seen them before. And they're pretty dumb by the looks of things. But let's just see how things go. I have no idea why that is in here either. Must be something to do with one of the mages, I guess. I noticed it outside before I came into this place. But yeah, the Immersive World Encounters does what it says on the tin. Basically creates these little scenes, an extra few quests here and there, where you're doing a few things with a few NPCs. It's okay. It spices things up a little bit.
evil necromancer vanquished, now our children may find peace in their sleep. I found a crate full of magical potions over here. Take it. It's all yours. Farewell, warrior.
Speak quickly, if you must.
You have questions?
Speak quickly, if you must.
Thanks for watching. If you have any questions indeed, please leave a comment below. TTFN.